One more day left until July 1st, and I'm really excited, but I'm also scared at the same time. Is it because it's the first day of free agency for National Hockey League? A little bit, but also there's another news that I'm waiting for. I'm sure along with all of you guys that we're gonna find out very soon. But there are tons of other news. NIO has delivered its very first all-electric SUV. That's huge for China, and I think just all around electric car universe. Also, Hyundai Kona EV pricing was announced for UK, and that's a big deal as well. BMW just made another big investment into their electrifying fleet that they're working on. And I'm going to answer the comment of the day right here instead of Instagram. So let's get going with all of this stuff right now. Thank you to those of you who are watching me live on Patreon right now. That's a great way to support the show. Make sure it stays independent and keeps going. If you're watching me on YouTube, welcome. Please consider subscribing. It's free, and you also become a part of this community, and you keep up to date with everything that's going on in the universe of electric cars. All right, let's talk about Tesla Model 3 and why it's very I'm feeling very uneasy about this. Right, it's huge. One more day until they supposed to get their rate up to 5,000 cars per week. Elon Musk seemed to be very confident that they can do this, but there also he mentioned that there's some issues in some parts of the line. They have that tent going on, the third line, and they've been opening the reservations and giving some separating some options for the standard packages. So it looks good, but I'm still a little worried, because if he doesn't deliver this on time, right? Once again, people are going to say, well, they're always late, they never deliver on time, and so that's bad in many different ways. But if he does, and I really hope he does, it's going to be huge. One, that will mean that, hey, the production of Model 3 is now absolutely 100% full force. That means that the company is supposed to be profitable from pretty much now on, and also that, hey, Elon Musk and Tesla have delivered something that they've promised, and they did it. So that's a lot of good news in one. Now, of course, we know they'll probably, if they're going to get it done, they will just get a 1 day at that rate, and probably it will subside just a little before it picks up. But that will probably take another 2 or 3 weeks, even a month. That's really not that big of a deal. But again, you know, we've kind of got caught up with a lot of things, with a lot of drama, with a lot of delays and Elon Musk tweets and everything. But let's remember, this is huge. This car is what's going to be changing the world as far as, you know, electric cars, because, you know, in another half a year to 9 months, it is going to come down to 35,000. At some point, another year or two, these cars are going to be sold as used cars, so they're going to be even more accessible. They're going to be tons of them on the road, like they are already flooding the streets here in Silicon Valley, which is really exciting. And overall, this is going to be, this car, though not the best Tesla, this will be a leader in what people will probably think of as what electric cars are, and what they can look forward to in the future. So I think this is huge. I can't wait. I'm nervous. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are, if you think that they're going to be able to get it done. And let's see how Elon Musk presents it once the numbers come out. Fingers crossed. All right, before I move on to the next big news, there are two big news, really. They both could have been headliners today. Let me remind you that this show and this channel is sponsored by Evanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. There's a discount code in the description of this video, so grab it and save yourself a few bucks if you're shopping for some cool stuff for your Tesla. All right, let's talk about another electric car, which is pretty anticipated. One of the most anticipated cars to come out this year, which is Hyundai Kona EV. As you probably know, Hyundai Kona is already a gas-powered car that Hyundai's been selling, but this car is going to have way good range, over 200 miles, way into 200, I believe it's 250. You know, we won't know until EPA rates it, but way into 200s. It's going to look like this, which is pretty cool. And now they've announced a pricing which people have been kind of waiting for. Everybody anticipated it was under 40,000. Now this pricing is for the UK, but that gives us an idea what it's going to be probably for the rest of the world. And it is at around starting price 39,000. Now that's really pushing it, I have to say, for the starting price. I was kind of expecting it being under 35, even maybe closer to 30. Because, don't forget the regular gas-powered Hyundai Kona is under 20 starting price. So this is almost doubling of that, and that's the problem obviously electric car movement is having, is just competing with its gas-powered equivalents, and this is a good example of it. Of course, many people will get $7,500 rebate here in the United States. There are many incentives around the world, so it's fair to say that you can get $5,000 to $10,000 off of this car, but that would still bring it to about 30,000, and it's out there now. I'm considering its sister car, Niro EV, once Kia comes out of it. The question, of course, is how many they're going to make. It looks like production might be limited, which kind of sucks. I really would wish they would just kind of go full force with it. But I understand, even though they're a large company, they still need to figure this thing out. I mean, this is a first a real electric car they're making. They've made others before, Ioniq and so forth, but nevertheless, this is a whole new animal. But I really wish they would just get going with this, and I'm excited to see how it's going to be received, and if there's going to be lines for with reservations and so forth. All right, let me know what you guys think about this one. But here's another big news. NIO, this is a Chinese-based company. They've been working on this car, which is all-electric SUV, ES8. And they've delivered their very first one today. Here's their Twitter post of the first customer. I don't know which one it is. I'm going to assume it's on one on the left in a cool pink shirt, which I was actually wearing just the other day, right? It all comes together. But anyway, yeah, so this car is definitely, I love this car. I wish they would start selling it in the rest of the world. They're not, they're planning to, but there's no aggressive schedule for that. So it's going to stay in China for now. It's priced at about 68,000 American dollars if you transfer it from yuan, and it is, the range is about 180, 185. Miles of realistic range. Looks good. It's got a lot of great features. My favorite one is, of course, the fact that it's got a swappable battery. Something that I really wish Tesla would have stuck with, but these guys
like training a world-class athlete. We want the ES8 to be lighter, yet stronger.
They're promising. They're also going to have a mobile services that will go around.
And the lightweight aluminium technology we used made this possible.
Like, for example, your key fob will be able to reach.
The lightweight index is a key assessment indicator. The lower the vehicle falls on the index, the lighter and stronger it is.
Let me know what you think about that.
We built our own all-aluminium platform. The ES8
BMW that's been kind of, putting themselves out there. I just did a report from Great Britain on their i8 series, but they've been investing a lot of money, billions of dollars, into their new all-electric fleet. And this week they made another major announcement. They've invested over $1.1 billion into a contract with this company, CATL. I call it cattle, but it's probably CATL. Now, if you remember, as I was reporting on Buyten's second round of financing of $500 million they received a couple of weeks ago, this is not only one of Buyten's major new investors, but that's also the company, a Chinese-based company that's going to provide battery cells for Buyten. Now, in this case with BMW, even though they're investing into this deal, it looks like CATL is planning on building the factory in Europe. For that to happen, which is great. So they're also expanding based on this contract, and obviously they're going to be much closer to Munich, where most likely this car is going to be made, but definitely closer to their headquarters. So that's another great news for BMW and really the rest of the movement. I'm excited about that. Whenever a company puts the money where the mouth is, I'm starting to believe them. All right, let's move on to the comments of the day. A comment of the day. Really, I was doing it on Instagram TV, but I figured today I'm going to do it right here. This is, of course, concerning the Model 3 and some what Elon Musk calls fake news. And this article was definitely, and I know which article Richard here is referring to. I think it was a few. One of them I think was on CNBC, but basically they were saying, now Tesla is asking for another $2,500 when you configure the Model 3, and in the 3 days, the whole $3,500 investment you do becomes non-refundable. And they were kind of saying how Tesla is trying to grab all this money. And this is a comment from Ricardo. He says, "We need a video ASAP on why Tesla asked all Model 3 reservation holders for another $2,500, even though a car still won't be available for months. Plus, the entire $3,500 becomes non-refundable after 3 days. Okay, Richard, you got to do your research, man. I've been critical of Tesla, but this is not going to be one of those days because, first of all, they've been doing this all along. This is not news. This is from day one. So it's funny how, this media outlets want to put this news together, just one day before this crucial deadline that Tesla has. So that's number one. Number two, I don't see anything wrong with it because the $1,000 was to hold your reservation. That's actually more than reasonable, and it's fully refundable. But when you configure the car, they have to start making it. Yes, it does take a while to make the car, but they have to start making it. They start ordering parts. They have to start pulling stuff together, and therefore you committed to a purchase, right? So yes, you're $3,500, and therefore you have to give them a little bit more money. I don't think that's unreasonable. It's not even that much. And yes, it becomes non-refundable because they're starting to work on your car. If you decide to bail, well, you got to pay them for the work they've done to that point on your car. So I don't see anything wrong with that. That's very reasonable. And I hate the fact that you're not checking the real facts here and just relying on this news, and shame on those organizations that have come out with that article. I'm totally with Elon Musk on this one. It obviously a lot of mainstream media and just media in general that is against electric cars coming out with its BS articles. I don't like how Elon handles this, but I'm with him in theory on that this is complete BS. But hey, listen. The only more reason to get this car out on time and prove to the world that this is the best car and that people want to buy it, and all of this crap is just going to go away. So I'm hoping everyone's going to be proven wrong in the Tesla hating, electric car hating world just in a couple of days. So anyway, just wanted to address that right now. Tomorrow I have an interview with Sebastian Blanco that I was one of the journalists writing for Forbes when I met it in my trip Shanghai, China. I think it's a pretty interesting conversation. And then on Sunday, I'm just about to head out to Santa Cruz to film this blog about some epiphanies I've been having about, my next cars. I have to renew 2 of my leases, and I'm thinking about what cars I'm going to have, and because I'm moving to Sacramento, I think I'm going to be living a bit more of a reality, and I'm starting to wonder about a few things. So I'm going to tape that blog and post it on Sunday for you guys. All right, it's been a very busy week. I love reporting this stuff for you. So I hope to see you live next week. And of course, enjoy my Saturday and Sunday videos. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.